You have got to surrender. You have to say it wins. I have to say the alcohol wins. I give up alcohol. I give up coke. I give up weed. You win. Good morning, guys. This is Shiro Teresa, and we are recording for day 3 and 4. Unfortunately, I was not able to record for day 3. I was a bit busy, but all in all, my update was, I think day 3 was very hectic. It was genuinely very hectic. I was weak. I was dizzy to the point of I was shaking. I think that was when the body now really felt that it was really going through it. But I did make it through very well. I drank ample of water, but not excess. You're supposed to drink a lot of water, but not excess water. You don't want to wash away whatever little the body has. I survived on a bit of coffee in the morning because I woke up really, really low. And during the day, just a bunch of different teas, warm water here and there. And I also did water with some salt because at that point I was low. I was quite irritable, and I figured out now I was having a bit of electrolyte imbalance. That was always quite my moods and my hormones were everywhere, so my brain was being affected in a way. But other than that, it's day 4 in the morning. I want to go for a jog. I feel fine. I don't feel weak as much, but I want to see if I can make it to go for a jog. And in terms of hunger, how do I feel? I do feel hungry, of course, but not as much as yesterday, not as severe. It is 6:30 in the morning, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Good evening, guys. Shiro Teresa here. It's day 4 of my fasting. I've done a video before in the morning, but it's evening. I made it to day 4 evening without eating. And for sure, I am extremely hungry. I'm very hungry, but I'm not as hungry as I was before. In day 3, it was really bad. It was bad. Like if I would do this, my hands would kind of like shake. And yeah, but today I feel fine. And I'm so excited because today I looked at the mirror. I looked at the mirror, and you guys, it is working. It is working. My body is feeding itself. It's utilizing all the extra fat I have because I did, especially around my waist area. That is the area that has literally just gone down. I've also noticed a lot of change around my thigh area, which is what, believe it or not, my stomach area, yes, I know that is a problem area, but also my thigh area. I tend to pack in fat, not in the outside thighs, like not in the face. My fat tends to go inside. So when I walk, there's usually a lot of friction, and I usually hate that. So I have noticed a lot of change. I've started to, have a thigh gap. It's really going down, which is a good thing, you guys. It's a good thing. I feel really excited about this. Something else I have noticed, I've noticed a difference in my body, my skin. I had a persistent, I don't know, I think you guys have seen it before in my video, but I had a persistent annoying rash that kept going on. Before, we thought it was a spider, medicated it when we moved, because I haven't been in my house for a month. I'm fresh into this house, still figuring things out, but we thought it was a spider, medicated it, it went away, then it came back. So I've been trying to figure out what is it, because it's not spreading, it's just there. It's not, it was kind of itchy. But the funny thing is, right now, if you can see, it's gone. Like, imekauka, and it's gone. So I don't know, is it the advantage of me fasting? One benefit of fasting is that your body tends to do a whole lot of detox. It tends to utilize dead or old cells, so it uses those to generate energy. So I don't know, maybe it might be that, maybe it might be not. I do not know, or maybe my body is just too hungry to sustain the rush. I don't know. But yeah, that is that. Now, on to my topic today on addiction. Remember, you guys, addiction is a real disease. It is not something you make up, it is a disease just like any other. I said in my previous video that I'm going to tell you few things that you must possess, you need to have in you for you to get over addiction. And today I'm gonna give you one of those things. You guys wanna guess? I said you've heard it before in my channel. One thing you need to do to start your journey, of fighting your addiction. And this thing, my dear people, is you need to surrender. You need to say, whatever it is you're addicted to, it wins. It wins. And I'm not saying that you say, yeah, it wins, I'm going to continue doing it. No. By the time you want to say that you recognize you're an addict, that means you realize your body is not in your control at all. You have absolute no control of your body. So when you say it wins, that is saying, I give up. I do not have control over you. You win. That is how you need to surrender and say, I cannot control alcohol. I cannot control coke. I cannot control shopping. I cannot control, the little things you do that you're addicted to, because shopping is an addiction. I have met a few people with that, I cannot control, my urges. You need to surrender. You need to say, I cannot control it. Because for you to call yourself an addict, you guys, let me tell you, that means the substance, the habit, it won. It won. It brought you to your knees and it has completely taken over you. That is what it means to be an addict. It means you no longer run your life. It means this substance or this habit runs your life. You need it to function. You need it to think. You need it to do this, to do that. You need it. You're an addict. And for you to start your journey, you need to say it has won. You need to acknowledge that you no longer have control over it. It has won, And that is your first step, because the moment you accept you have no control, that is when you need help from outside, That is when you say, I need help. I can no longer control this. I am, destroying myself. I am lying. I am hurting people. I am doing all of these shitty things, not willingly. And this is where people never get it. As an addict, we addicts, when we are at it, we can be really shitty people. When we are using, we're really shitty people. We lie, we manipulate, we will be extremely hurtful. And we can be extremely deceitful. We even steal. Addicts steal. Addicts hurt people. As an addict, you hurt people to that extreme. So what I was saying is, you need to surrender for you to get help. And it is just like every other situation in life. When you are sick, you need help from doctors to get better. Because you can no longer, home remedies or whatever, it's no longer working for you. You need someone or something to help you fight back. Even in any kind of, let's apply to real life situations, we sometimes need financial help because we can't do it on ourselves. You get loans, you ask from friends, Let's just say addiction does not have its own rules. It plays by the very, very rules of life. It conquers you, it brings you to your knees, and you need outside help. So addiction also applies to the fact that you cannot fight it alone. No man is an island. You cannot fight it alone. You need help. So if you know someone out there who is fighting addiction, and this is all saying the sad part is you cannot surrender for that part. You absolutely cannot surrender for this person. You feel if you're family or it's your loved one, you have felt they have brought you to your knees, they have hurt you to the extreme, but you want to help them. But the very first step that they need to get better, you cannot do it for them. They need to do it for themselves. They need to say, I have a problem. I have lost control. I cannot do this by myself. I need help. You need help. That is the sequence. One leads to the other. You need to surrender for you to get help, for you to actually admit that you need help. But ukiwa kichwa ngumu, and this is why most people relapse for different reasons, but some people that I know, you relapse because you went kichwa ngumu. You went to rehab because you didn't surrender. You are blackmailed. You were told you will lose your job. Your family told you will do this and that and that and that. That's why you went to rehab. Not because you surrendered to this substance. You surrender to whatever other force was forcing you to do it. And that is why people relapse. You surrendered to not losing your job, that fear. You surrendered to your family telling you we will disown you. That is what you surrendered to. Not to the fact that you don't have control of the substance. No. You surrender to a completely different reason. And what you need to do is you need to surrender to the substance. You need to say, you know what? You have more control of my life than I do. So I cannot fight you alone. I'm gonna go get help. Then let's do this. So that's what I was saying. That is the first step, you guys. And I know it hurts because it's usually, for me, I surrendered. I legit surrendered. I have never forgotten. My dad called me and he told me, now you are at a point where I don't understand. Do you need help? And I didn't respond. I didn't say anything. We had a conversation and he said, you know what, if you do, and this is where a loved one comes in, the only thing they can tell you is, if you do need help, I am right here. That is the only thing you can do to help them, at that point. And I remember after a few days, and I was going through at home extreme withdrawal. My people, I was hallucinating. I was hallucinating in a very, very, it scared me to the core. I would wake up at night and I would be very sure there's someone outside my room. I could hear voices. I could hear there were people and I would cry. I remember there's one time I cried and I called my family and I told them and I said there's someone outside. There was no one outside my room. I was hallucinating, So, point being, when I felt that I was done, I could no longer do this, I told my dad, I need help. The golden words, I need help. And the following day, I was in a car, express to Eldoret, to MTRH. So, you guys, that is the first step. And I'm hoping someone who is there, you're not yet an addict, or you might think you have a problem with controlling a certain thing. This is the first thing you need to notice. The first few things, if you know you are losing control of your life, that's something else, a substance, a habit, I don't know, is controlling your life, that is where you're headed. Because you're going to become reliant on this thing to run your life. You need it to be normal. For me, I needed alcohol to function. In the morning, when you people have breakfast and sausages and tea, I used to have a thought. I'm telling you, it was that bad because I needed to stop the tremors. I needed it to stop. I could not eat. I had lost so much weight. I could not eat without taking alcohol. If the alcohol went in, then the food could stay. If I did not take the alcohol, I finished my food and at that moment, my stomach would start contracting, and the food would naturally, all of it, get out. It didn't matter whether it was food or it was water or it was, my family even tried Ribena, nothing held. The only thing I could do is eat, and try to hold the throwing up as much as I can so that my body can at least get a tiny bit into its system. That by the time it gets out, I have gotten something into my system. I'm telling you, addiction is painful, you guys. It is painful. And you know the worst part usually is that by the time you're an addict, there are two sides of you. There's the addict, and there's the part of your brain that is realizing you need help. I need to stop. I need to stop lying. I feel bad for hurting my parents. There's always a part of your brain that is somewhat conscious that something is wrong, something is not going okay. You know, there's always something. There's two sides of you fighting in your head. But the thing with the addict is the addict you always wins and manages to suppress this other side, you know. So yeah, I can go on with this for on and on and on, because it's something, it's addiction is only something that can make sense to people if you get the testimony of an addict. And I'm not saying the sugar coated, I suffered, I did. No, you need to hear it. Like, what did you go through that really scared you? So yeah, guys, that was the first thing I've told you today. You guys, you need to surrender. If you're an addict and you're listening to this, or if you are starting to realize you have some habits that are not really good, you need to surrender as early as you can. You need to realize, you know what, there's a way I'm going, and the way I'm seeing, I see myself losing myself in this, you know. Because generally in life, huwezi kuwa kichwa ngumu the rest. Sometimes life humbles you. That is what it means, you know. Sometimes there are things that will bring you. Ukiwa kichwa ngumu with addiction, you will never win. Ever. You will never win. That when people tell you, oh, you're an addict, you're like, no, I can control it. I have control. You do not have control. Absolutely not. So yeah, guys, that I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm supposed to go to my sister's for dinner, but they will be having dinner, and I will be just looking at them smiling as I fast. You know, my stomach is about to curse me in 1,000 languages. So yeah, I love you guys. Remember to share, subscribe, and more importantly, please share this to someone or people who need to hear this. That is what I keep emphasizing on. Share this with someone who needs to hear this. So I love you guys, and bye.